Okay, so we have a cylinder of diameter of 50 and axis length of 70 that is completely penetrated by another cylinder of diameter of 40 and axis length of 70 horizontally. Both axes intersect and bisect each other. We want to draw projections showing the curves of intersection. So we'll go for rectangle, then put in 50, 70. That should be the front view of the standing cylinder. Then use AM_7, which draws a center line for us. Now we can draw the top view of the standing cylinder. Let me select that and then put it on layer 0. Now I'll go for the center corner method to draw rectangles, and I'll use that method to draw the front view of the penetrating cylinder. That means I need to get the midpoint of the standing cylinder, seeing as their axes intersect and bisect each other. The method used, the distances here should be 35 and 20. Okay, so I'll just copy that, then place it on the top view, because the dimensions of the cylinder or the penetrating cylinder on the top view and on the front view obviously are going to be the same. So I'm using a constructional layer, AMCL. You can create one for yourself to draw the axis in place, and then draw the mitre line so that I can project to get my side view. Okay, so I switched to a constructional layer. Again, you can create one for yourself, and I want to project points on the top view to get the side view for the standing cylinder. And then I'll just copy that to the side view, because again it's going to have the same proportion or dimensions on the side view. If I were to draw a center line through that, you'd see that it will take me to the center of the side view. Okay, so I just track the midpoint of the rectangle and then drew in that circle which represents the side view of the penetrating cylinder. That's just to prove that we have a correct center. I can trim these, extra parts. These parts ought to be drawn with hidden lines, so let's just clean them out for now, and then redraw them using the correct line type. So I'll draw in some center lines where required. Okay. Switch the layer back to 0 and then type in mtest. That should be 1, and then the height, we change that to 2 to make it smaller. Then reposition it. So I want to array that. I'm going to use array polar. And I want 4 items. We may need to reposition some of them. And then we select them in the order in which I have done so. And type in T count. Click on select order. And we're starting from 1, the spacing of 1, so 1 comma 1. Hit enter and then click on overwrite. Let me just copy that. So I'll just copy that. That's my base point. And then position 1 there, and another one on that edge. So maybe that's 1 prime. That'll be 2 prime and 4 prime. then 3 prime, so I'll just copy them all and then edit them. Let's switch to maybe the constructional layer. Trim that extra part. Then array that polar array. What we want is 8 items. And I'm gonna copy that. Position that there, and then I did that to, that is going to be C. So C prime, or C prime prime. So I'm gonna polar array them to get 8 items. Then I'd have to edit them. So A prime prime, B prime prime, all around. Okay, so I'm gonna project those points from the side view to the front view and then through the top view. Okay, so if you were to start with, say, A prime prime, so we draw horizontal line to our left, maybe up until the center line. And then from B prime prime, we should go through H prime prime. Of course, G goes through the center line. And then F prime prime, we draw that in place. E prime prime will go through the side of the horizontal cylinder. Okay, so now I'm gonna project A prime prime vertically downwards until it hits the mitre line, and then to my left until it hits the point of intersection between the two solids. And then once it hits the point of intersection, I project it back up until it meets with the horizontal A prime prime line, and then PO for point, and I position a point where the both of them meet. So now I can go for B prime prime, draw it downwards until it hits the mitre line. Then obviously I go to my left until I hit the point of intersection, which is the circumference of the circle. And then I click that point and move it up, and then connect it to B prime prime, PO for point, and position my next point there. And now I go through the next point like that. So C prime prime to my left until it hits that point. And then I project it upwards. And that goes through the center line. So to get D prime prime, E prime prime, I think I can mirror. So I'll select those points and then mirror them using the horizontal center line, and that will give me D prime prime and E prime prime. And now I'll go for spline. Let's switch the layer to 0, and then connect from A prime prime all the way to E prime prime. Now I can copy all those points with the line, with the curve itself, and then mirror it to the other side to get the points E prime prime, F prime prime, G prime prime, H prime prime, and then A prime prime. But of course, all of these points on the front view is going to have only one prime and not two primes. This is what I mean. So I copy A there. That should be A prime. So I'll copy that and then paste them around the other points to get the corresponding labels. And that's basically it. just some housekeeping, just trim that part off. And that basically is the required solution.